Morning, everybody. So, out here, I gotta get some stuff ready. I'm gonna go out and look for some deer antlers today. Had a pretty successful day the last 2 days. Went out for a little bit, found 6 antlers, which is more than I found last year. So let's kind of look at some of what I found. These are the 2 of the ones I found yesterday. I found old sheds. This one was out in the middle of a field. This one was back in the woods, been there a year. As you can tell, chewed up a bit. But this is the crown jewel of what I found so far. So, check that bad puppy out. So today, my whole thing today is I have a buddy of mine who's told me about his. I walked there. I found some nice antlers over there. Let's see if you look up on the wall. Up above, let's see, that mounted deer. I don't think you can see it. I'm gonna have to zoom it in. So if you look up here on the wall, that is a skull I found over there a couple of years ago. First time I ever walked this property. And needless to say, there's some nice deer over here on this property. He told me that his biggest buck had already dropped 1 antler. The last picture he had of him, he'd already dropped 1 antler. He's possibly dropped the other one since, and I get to go look for him today. So I'm waiting for daylight. I'm out here in the garage. I got to get some stuff. As you can tell, I love antlers. I got lots of sheds, skulls that I found, and a little bit of everything. That one right there is the biggest skull I've ever found. I think it was 170 something inches. And it's just because it has 27.5-inch main beams, only a 14-inch inside spread, but 13-inch tines in the back. That's a 13-inch. That one or that one's 13. I don't know. 13 and 12, I think is what they were. But 7-inch bases. But join me on this. We're going to go walk the woods today. It's still not daylight yet. Still a half hour before sunrise, but I want to get out here early. We'll see what we find. Go. I need you to wish Daddy luck. Comes home with big antlers. I know you like big antlers, but you want to chew on them, but I'll let you check them out. Maybe I'll find some small antlers. I can bring them home like the 3 I found yesterday. Well, 2 of them I found yesterday. You too, Gracie. Don't give me that side eye. You giving me side eye. I love you, baby. Wish me luck. Pray for Daddy. All right, today I'm going to be more, I usually don't carry anything with me, but I am carrying a knife today. And I'm going to have some string with me just in case I find antlers. I can strap them to me. And I have my binoculars today. So I'm out here, look, getting ready to get started. It's getting daylight enough. So we're going to shoot straight through the back there and go up. But I know I want to walk back here and walk around, and then there's a fence row back here that I want to hit them fence rows, and I'll get back with you. But let's keep an eye out, see if we see anything. Let me get back here and look for tracks. See if we can see which way they're going. Oh, right in here is a crossing. See anything? Oh, I can't wait to get into that stuff. Look how good that looks. All right, let's go back here. All right, I want y'all to check us out. I have just gotten into the woods. What is that laying right there? Sure looks like an antler to me. Right here on the trail. First antler. That's a funky looking deer right there. Let me get it. That's my first antler of the day. Look at that in the mud. So, that's crazy. What a great day. Even though that's a funky looking deer. Bad genetics. But we're off to a good start. All right, walking up on the top of bones. What do we got here? see my hand anywhere. Bones, oh, there's a skull. Right there. Slick them up. Well, looks like I've been filming in my pocket for a little bit, but the one with me, I've made a plan, and the one with me is to deviate from that plan already. But I can't keep telling myself, stick with the plan, dummy. All these other antlers in the middle will be here. I want to walk the edges first, then get into the thick stuff. Let's walk the edges and find out. Walk by these fence rows. We'll see what I can find. Interesting thing right here. Just walked into some Devil's Walking Stick. Hope you can see all the stuff on those. Sharp stuff on them. That's some sharp stickers on them. Devil's Walking Stick. Alright, just doing a little check-in with y'all. Walking through all this stuff. I'm trying to get around all these things. Walking a zigzag pattern. Still haven't found anything but the one buck with the awesome genetics. Got good brow tines and good beam length, but that's about it. But I'm grateful he dropped it for me to find. What kind of sticker? Or a little kicker. What do you call them? Stickers or kickers? I think it's a sticker. This is always a good sign that you're on the right trail. Nope, them ain't sugar babies. And they ain't raisinets. Go down here and see what this is. What is this? Oh, it's an old pot and some wire. There's something right there. This is all the way zoomed in from the back. Oh, there's like a long, skinny spike book. But I doubt it is. I almost walked right past this one. Well, I did walk past it. And I happened to look back. And voila! Another one from this year. Small one. It's number 2 for the day. See that over there? I thought I was going for another one. But in the grand scheme of things, you'll see. It's just a vine. All right, this might be the easiest one I found so far yet. Right there. Let's go get it. Looks like the match to this one I just found. Maybe. Woo-hoo, you gotta love them when they stand out like it. Well, it turns out it's not the match to that. It's the same side. There's 2 little bucks about the same around here, so I might have to keep walking this way. See if I can find the other sides to both of them. This last one I just found still has a little blood on the pedicle. Huh, must have just dropped it. Well, we'll walk through here and see if we can't find any others. You don't see anything as I'm scanning, because I'll come back to this spot. I ain't seeing them, but they're in here. I'll find them. Uh-oh. Got some bones up here. That's leg bone. That's a little bitty hoof right there. So, ain't gonna be nothing big. But, getting into this thick stuff here. Walk through here and then I'll make a path back down. Make a turn and check these trees out. Look at that. Pretty friggin' cool. Look at that, it goes twists all the way up. Man, cool stuff back in here. It's like a snake going up through there. Check it out. And this is the places that I always feel like I'm gonna find big antlers, because they could be right over any of these. Deer have been cutting through back in here. This is what those big bucks like. But you know what? I walked through a bunch of places like that and ain't found big antlers yet. Maybe today's gonna be the day. All right, let's walk over here and let's see what this is. A stick. Just a stick. All right, come across another leg bone. This might be a big buck I found, or the one that got shot last year and couldn't find. Found him later. He cut his head off. About in that section of woods. Let's look and see. I'm gonna keep y'all on me for a second. See if we can find anything. Give y'all a little bit of what I do. I like to keep my head on a swivel. Ooh, my bald spot. It's really looking bad nowadays. But here, I'll give you a little example of how I walk through the woods. Constantly scanning. You gotta scan the stuff around you too. I'm constantly scanning as I go. And you're looking for anything. You know what I'm saying? Anything that could be an antler. Curved part. Of course, there's a lot of them with these vines they got around here. There's a lot of vines. For some reason, this place has a lot of vines. What is that over there? All right, here come up some more deer bones. Like I said, this might be where that buck was, where he found it. He cut the antlers off last year. I'd say jaws are there. Okay, so that's that. I've been here. Let's go over this way some. A fella shot that deer. Didn't find it until a couple of days later. Cut the head off of it last year. So let's go over this way. I think this is the little buck I found last year. Dead down here below the pond. Yep. Looks like I've been chewing on him pretty good. The old squirrels are doing a number on him. Alright. Is that a double skull? It's awful big. No. No. Somebody has cut the antlers off that thing. Or nope, they chewed. The antlers have been chewed off on that. So I don't know how that one. What if these deer are getting hit right here? All right, so I'm running out of time, but if you look over there, there's hair. There's hair back here. Notice this as I was walking down this trail. I see hair over here. I see some more out this way. So let's do some detective work. Let's see if we can't find what it was. Look at all this hair right here. So usually, we don't drag stuff uphill. I'm gonna take it downhill. I'll get back with you. All right, well, I made it all the way down here to this creek. And I don't see a body. I followed hair all the way down here. I'm not seeing anything, so I'm gonna walk up here a little bit. I've got to get to a meeting, so I may be back out here a little bit later. I'm gonna go up here, get on this hillside over here, and walk it off to the truck. I think that's the plan. Look at that. Nice old waterfall. And I that I can come out here and make some videos for people to be able to go to sleep to. Yes, I would. Check that out. It fell off of one of these trees. That tree right there fell, and they still rubbed on it. All right, found another deer leg. That's a pretty good sized hoof on that one. Looks like a pretty bleached out doe skull right there. Yep, bleached out doe skull. I ain't seeing nothing of that here. There's some bones from that doe. That ain't the one that was over here. There we go. That's a fairly old dude right there. They've already chewed that side off. Time with super bones. Usually pretty good sized leg bones. See anything? I see a rib cage. Let's go see what it is. See a head on it. It's probably a doe. That's probably what the leg come off of. There's a leg right there. Yep, it's a slick. I believe this is the other side of that buck I found earlier. I don't know. Let's look and see. Well, it looks like it's been chewed on. Yeah, that thing's been chewed up. That's a last year's antler. Right here in the trail. All right. Well, let's go back down here. Ooh, that's a rough one. And this is the stuff right here. Look at that. Big rub right there, but look how thick it is down in here. Found that last old one right up the hill there. And then I saw all this thickness. This is where I like to be. This is where the big boys ought to hang out. I've never found any antlers down in here, but it ain't for the lack of trying. I sure like it. Come on, let's find something. I found two. I've been finding three every time I go out, so I need to at least find one more. What is that over there? Probably trash. Well, let's go back and look. Look at that, more rubs in here. There ought to be antlers laying everywhere back in here. Alright. Now I got over here, I don't see what I was looking at. It's probably just the sun reflecting off something. Alright, here we go. Look how thick it is right in here. Should be big antlers just laying everywhere. Should be. See if we can find any. That right there has got to be the smallest chunk of antler I've ever seen. And if they chewed it up that much, I'm just gonna leave it right here for them. I ain't taking that little bit. And they chew them up good back in here. Holy moly. Look at that. Well, that was a good antler too. That thing has been chewed like nobody's business. Hey y'all, found this antler out here, look at that. And you go to the inside, they've hollowed it out like a canoe. Look at that. It's crazy. So you know what I'm gonna do? Put it right back down here for him. Man, I wish I could have found that one earlier. All right, this is getting old. Look, there's another one. Or is that the one I found earlier? Am I just going in circles now? All right, so this is my year so far. Check them out. Definitely my biggest. But one cool thing is this antler here. This antler here, I found right next to each other. So I know they're a pair, even though it doesn't have any main, or it doesn't have any tines coming off that main beam. Pretty sure I saw that deer crossing the road. And then another cool thing is this antler right here, and one that I found last year out in the field. They appear to be a pair. And, yep, found this one this year. I just didn't walk far enough. So, all right, well, stick with me. I'll have more adventures to show you. See y'all.